and just trying to be on the leading edge of the culture wars, because we've sat back for decades and allowed them to assume control over every major institution, in our country. You don't even, even the U.S. military, in terms of leadership, has gone woke. The FBI, as evidenced by, the hostage rescue team raiding Mar-a-Lago just last week against their political enemies, simply for having the guts to call out the corruption at the FBI. We then get lectured sanctimoniously about, from Christopher Wray, how dare we not respect the FBI when it seems like they haven't done anything to deserve that respect. When you're talking about forging FISA warrants, lying before Congress, the people who did that, whether that's Andy McCabe or Peter Strzok, they maintain their jobs. They get contributorships at CNN and MSNBC. There's virtually no penalty, and there seems to be also no consequence to the FBI for having every major attacker in recent U.S. history on their radar, while they let them slip through the cracks, probably because they checked off a couple woke boxes. Therefore, the FBI would refuse to prosecute. But if your grandmother was within somewhere of 500 miles of Washington, D.C. on January 6th, I'm sure they got a knock on the door. What's happening in our country is a disgrace. The politicization of our institutions and the outright corruption at this point needs to be called out. And, we haven't had a traditional venue to have Robert do this as an outspoken conservative in Hollywood. He's understood those consequences, but we have to start doing it. We can't sit idly by as they continue to do this to us. And I think we've actually hit a tipping point. I think Breitbart's done a great job of highlighting these things. We created Truth with Devin to be able to point out these things. But look at Disney stock. Look at Netflix stock. Look at what's going on. Finally, our people have finally had enough. We're no longer just saying, well, we're going to accept different views while the other side takes your hard-earned money and uses it and weaponizes it against all of your belief systems day in and day out. They've said enough. And now they're looking for alternate venues to spend their hard-earned money. And I think this movie is going to be an incredible example of that.